Welcome back to Counsil Customs. This week, we're going to dig into the transmission on the... station wagon's gone. So I guess... And y'all can get to meet this truck. So a little bit of the backstory here. This is a 47 Hudson pickup. This is my dad's truck. He has really had an affection for the hard to find pickup trucks. We also have another truck. You'll get to know it later on as well. He has a sweet spot for these hard to find pickup trucks. And years and years and years ago, he had an opportunity to get a Hudson pickup. But the thing was, it didn't have all the parts and pieces to really restore it. So because it didn't have those parts and pieces, he walked on it and didn't buy it. Looking back, he's really kicked himself in the butt for not buying that truck because he really liked the styling of the truck. And his taste in wanting to keep everything original and stock and all that stuff, it's changed over the years. Nobody likes that. Everybody wants a hot rod. Yeah, you're going to have the guys that comment down below and say, oh, well, if it ain't stock, it ain't right. Well, I don't care. Hot rods are cooler. They're funner to drive and you don't care about them. So here they are. Here this truck is. This truck was black primered whenever we got it. It looked like somebody rolled into a junkyard and built it there in the junkyard. They just came home and put a black primer paint job on it, and that's it. It has a S10 front suspension that was botch welded together, which I have repaired. It has a Monte Carlo rear axle. It has a small block Chevy with a turbo 350 in it. We have changed a lot of components and a lot of things in this truck since then. So let me get you in here and we'll show you all the little things that we've changed on this truck. So this is actually how the factory hood opens on this truck. Is the tilt forward hood setup. This is the small block Chevy that was in the Chicken Ranch before. This is a true 350. We have a Dodge, I believe we found out it was a Dakota. Whenever the guys put this truck together originally in the junkyard, they used a lot of parts and pieces, and some of them, whenever we looked at the size of them, we said, hey, the size of that works well, but let's just get the new modern version of that. There was a radiator in here, but it was not aluminum. It was a factory radiator. It was split, started to leak and all that stuff. So this is the aluminum version of that same radiator that we found that was in the truck. And then I changed the brackets up and everything to help hold it in place and everything. But also, not only does it have electric fans on it now, it also has the trans cooler on the front, the AC condenser, and all that stuff. So that way it would keep it nice and cool. And everything's already built in there. AC's not done on this truck, but whenever we were building it, we tried to make sure we put all the little pieces in as we were going. But turbo 350 back behind, small block Chevy up front, full stainless exhaust with V-bands all the way down through with Borla mufflers. It has chrome booster master cylinder. And right here, I get my flashlight out of my pocket. And then right here, this from here, right here, this is factory frame, and this is the boxing. That's your engine mount, and there's your factory frame. But there is no filler work in all of that. That's all weld and boxing and then smooth back out between the S10 front suspension and the factory Hudson frame. So all that, it was horribly botched together. Spent some time in it, really dialed it all in, and I got it where I wanted it and I like it. We're not sure what we got going on. The truck has a fresh wiring harness, my old engine that never really ran right. It's a fresh rebuild. Bought it from a shop, rebuilt. I didn't build it. That distributor is a Chinese distributor from our local hot rod shop. They sell the nice stuff and they sell the cheap stuff. We put 3 cheap ones in it. We're about to ditch it and go a different route. It's got an Edelbrock carburetor on it. I've tried with several different vehicles now trying to get Edelbrocks to work, and I have nothing but problems with them. I switched to Holley, everything works great. So thanks, Holley, for making a good product, even though y'all don't endorse me, but y'all make a great product. And I will gladly say the carburetors from Holley, hands down, way better than Edelbrock, only because I've run them, I've done it, I've tried it, and I'm done messing with Edelbrocks from here on out. Everything's going Holley. But this one, I've got to change it out to a Holley. We have it sitting on the shelf over there. Got a different distributor sitting on the shelf over there to go in it. That's the next two things we're going to try to dig into. It also has some wiring gremlins in the truck that whenever we put it together, it was kind of the mad thrash to, hey, we're about to try to get it done for Lone Star Throwdown 10th anniversary 2021. So 2021 LST is when this truck actually, this is the only time it came out. That was it. One time it ever went anywhere. So that's the next goal, is to get everything that we want to get finalized on this truck done so we can move forward and actually put it on the road and start driving it. So let me show y'all all the little stuff that we did to it to get it to this point, because man, this truck went all the way down to the frame and all the way back up. This one, my 66 build, and this one are the two farthest we've gone on a build. The only difference was this one got exterior paint. Mine got a flat clear coat and was patinaed. But both of them, backsides of panels are painted. All that stuff. I've got lights that I put back here. I have to wire them in still. But I have lights that I put back here that are going to light up your engine bay whenever you're at a car show. You have a light down on the front right here. This is going to light up as well. Haven't got that finished yet, but we got to do that with all of our wiring stuff. Now here at the front of the truck, all of these grill bars right here are factory from here up. This is all factory stuff. Sent it out and had it re-chromed or polished. If it was stainless, it's polished. If it was chrome, got it re-chromed. But this one right here, this is angle iron that I built, took and kinked it over, welded the center, did all that stuff, and down here on the ends, cleaned that all up, then sent it out and had this piece chromed because that piece was missing on the front of the truck before. So now it has the final piece down at the front. Now, yes, this splash pan right here is all beat up, but we have an idea. I'm gonna completely build a new front bumper. I have a 88 to 98 Chevy bumper sitting right there on the shelf. And I think if I splice it down the center, narrow it up, and I splice it height-wise and narrow it up that way, it's got the same front curvature and the same distance here on the sides to really make a good-looking front bumper for the front of this truck. Then send that piece out to chrome. Probably just paint it black for now, see how it looks, see if we like it, see if we stick with it. If we do, we can send that piece out to chrome. Moving forward. All of the trim holes down the side of the truck have all been shaved. This piece on both sides was completely rotten. That's all hand shaped and everything right there for that very minimal body filler in there. This piece, or this hood, was a two-piece hood with trim that went down the center. That's all been molded. I welded a piece of metal in there all the way down through and blended it out, so that way the hood is now one piece. Trim that went down the side right here, all the holes have been welded. Bottom of the driver's door was completely rusted out at the bottom. That's all been repaired. These door handles are completely different than the factory door handle that was on here. So there's a square pin on the inside that goes through here and goes into there. It's a little bit different size. I was able to shave this and make it fit, but the mounting way was different. So I took a piece of flat steel, welded two nuts to it, cut a square hole out of the door panel here, welded that piece of sheet metal that had the two nuts into place, then flushed everything out. Now you've got Model A door handles on the truck. As we move into the truck, we have a lot of stuff sitting inside of here, but these are 40 6, I believe. I'll get with my dad and find out. We'll probably not tell y'all in this video. Whenever we do the interior stuff, we'll probably dig into that, and I'll give y'all a better answer on it then. But he found these. These are bomber seats out of a 40s model Chevrolet Suburban delivery that are really hard to find, really hard to get your hands on. And he just ended up getting a smoking deal on them. But I made full braces for them down below to keep them pivoting, but also have full adjustability for your height and everything, and for them to fit inside of this truck specifically. So the brace down below is completely my fabrication, and then everything above is the seat from before. But I like these seats because they're much wider than a typical bomber seat, and us being fat, now you have room for us to fit in the trucks. But moving forward from that, got a Ford FE valve cover that we've made into a center console here. Not done yet. Whenever we do all the interior stuff, that's going to get put in here. But you can put 2 Sonic drinks because big block valve cover. So this is actually my old 52 Ford truck steering wheel chopped down with a oil fill valve hoop going around it. It was their old valve, cut the center out of it, and then welded in an old 50s model Ford steering wheel because the splines were the same for everything to fit on here. It's got just a generic turn signal setup. We cut the entire dash out of the truck, welded or made a panel that actually fits with fasteners to put it in. So all of the stuff you can hide behind the dash, you can, and then you just reach up in there, has a couple of wing nuts on the backside, pop it loose, pop this all down, and you can access everything that's wiring and all that stuff inside of the truck on the backside. But 32 Auburn gauge cluster. We don't have the vintage air unit yet, but we already figured out what AC vents we wanted to run, what radio we wanted to run. This switch right here is to switch on and off your rear backup camera. That's all you got right here. It's a really small back window, and if you try to look left, you got nothing but cab corner, and a lot of cab corner here too. So whenever you're trying to look, I mean, all you got's that little rectangle. So as much as you can give yourself by adding in like a backup camera and stuff really helps a lot. Already went ahead and put the vintage air gauges down below. This is all metal I formed for everything to fit. Goes around the sides and hides everything down there as well. Got 2 more vents on the 2 sides. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 AC vents going along there. Got a little bit of decorative where it goes up right there. And then the ignition key is hidden, where if you didn't have it sitting in there, you wouldn't see the fact the ignition key is back behind everything hidden as well. Just trying to take that extra step for everything to look as clean as possible. And then this is a factory Hurst shifter. Well, not factory. Factory from the Hurst company. But that is a Hurst shifter. And then we put a glass old door handle on the top, just for a little extra decorative for it to match the style of the truck. I did have to work on the door stoppers, because the door actually did used to open further than this, and it actually got into the cowl a little bit. So we went ahead and put some different stoppers, or just welded some different pieces on the inside, and I did install a like 1/2-inch piece of rubber. So now you can let go of the door and not have to worry about it, mainly because you want to do that for your passenger. You know, as a driver, you're always going to pay attention to it, but you can't always guarantee the passenger's going to pay attention. You know, they're not as invested in the car as you are. It sucks, but typically whenever something happens and something gets broken, it's the guy who doesn't have the money in the car. So went ahead, put that stuff in there as a preventative so we don't have any accidents or anything like that happen. I have the running board sitting on the table. We've got some more metal work to do on those. Got some ideas on what to do on it. I'll show y'all as we get into that video of doing metal work on these, but we've got some metal work to do here, lengthening, filling holes. This used to have a vulcanized rubber that went over top of it, and we really like the way it looks without it. So we're gonna actually end up running these without rubber on them, but we're gonna spray it with spray and bed liner. To match, we've already put the bed liner actually in the bed. Speaking of that, now we're in the back of the truck. Let's show you what we got going on back here. So this, like I said, we have full stainless exhaust, turn downs for dust. Going right there, we got a Chevy 12 bolt or 10 bolt. I'm not a Chevy guy. I don't remember. I can tell you a 9-inch from an 8-inch and an 8.8 and all that stuff for a Ford. But I can't tell you for a Chevrolet. I'm slowly learning, but I haven't gotten there yet. Slowly learning. So give me a break, guys. Give me a break. I ain't got it yet. But full exhaust runs through. All the holes in the frame going through there. Then still got the factory Hudson leaf springs. Just this axle sitting on top of those in its new location. Relocated the battery back here to the back. So that's back here now. We have a S10 Blazer fuel tank, which I actually like the fact that it has that notch right there because it makes it easier to slide the battery out. Whoop, right there, going out that way. But you can also bring it up to the top. That's part of what we're gonna do with this truck. There's a whole lot of metal work that's gonna go on back here, and we're gonna change up the whole way the back of this truck is set up. Nothing into the body, just got a different idea for what's going to happen back here. Now, going down from there, this whole roll pan was cut off the back of the truck and then completely rebuilt. It goes down 2 inches further than the factory. Added in a license plate recess spot right there with the distance so that way the camera would fit back behind it. Now here's where we start getting into all the metal work, custom metal work. So these stake pockets actually used to, so everything from here down is factory, and then from here on it used to carry the same distance straight right here, and it would just go down and dead end, like that right there. See how it comes down? You could see the peak in it, and then it stops right there, and then it continues straight. Oh wait, what are we looking at here? Oh, this is a parts truck gone wrong, or right, depending on how you're looking at it. So we actually had a parts truck for the Hudson up for sale for a while. A couple people were interested. More people wanted to pick it apart and use pieces and parts from it. We said, man, we'd rather sell the whole thing or just make a wall hanger out of it. So as you can see, it ended up becoming a wall hanger. But it was a rough truck. We kind of thought about building it. We kind of thought about making a rat rod version and having a clean version and a rat rod version and being able to drive both. But this truck was gone. So let me show you. I mean, I think this spot, if you used a little bit of Bondo, it'd be all right. But that's the least of our problems. We got this going on here. We got a little bit up in here in the top of the cowl. The vent windows and the doors were rusted. Doesn't make any sense to me there. Bottom of the cab corner as well, just like the other truck was, but this one was actually further. Whole bottom of the door here completely rusted off. Bottom of the cab corner there completely rusted. And then the most random spot of all, back of the cab. Doesn't make any sense. But we got another hard to find Hudson tailgate there on the wall, as well as one cut in half right here, because it's, I mean, it's got to be complete. You can't do it without a tailgate. Would have made a cool truck. It'd have been a cool one just to sit around and look at, but that's what it gets to do now. It gets to sit here in the corner of the shop next to the chicken ranch and be our spot that we get to look at. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. But I got a couple of sets of wheels sitting around because you never know. And we got the chicken ranch. Don't worry about what's going on this side of the shop. Just keep your focus right here. But now that y'all saw that goes straight down on the other truck, now that you see we pinched this and brought it inward and then notched it for the taillight, looks so much better. Did that on both front, and it actually matches the same curvature as the cab here. So you got your style line from above, and then it matches the same curvature and stops right there, and then carries the same all the way down with the bottom of the truck. We used to have a gas fill in the fender right here, took it out. We're gonna have it into the bed location as well. And the color on this truck is a Hot Rod Flats, like a bronze or a copper color. And it actually has a lot of flake in it. Here, we'll move it outside and we'll put it in the sun for you to see it. You can see all the color in it, and then we'll bring it back in. But it doesn't run, so I gotta push it out, only because of the distributor and the carburetor setup. So we're gonna push it outside real quick, show you, and then we'll bring it right back in. So this is it out in the sun. Not super sunny outside, a little bit overcast. It was nice just a second ago, but we missed it pushing it out. But you can see all the metallic and everything. Why do LEDs make it flicker on a camera? But you can see all the metallic and pearls and the paint on this truck. And it really shows off all of its curves. It's also different. The flat brown, flat copper color, you don't see it very often. It's nice to just see something different every once in a while. Really accentuates all the chrome, helps all the chrome pop, not have the same style look as like black or white or any of those colors. Really helps bring it to life and be a little bit different than what you normally see. So there's the introduction into the truck. Now, I must pause right here and I'll show you what it looked like when we first got it. Then on the teardown side of it, then painting the frame on it, then putting the engine in it, shooting it one color, then changing our mind, and then just a couple more as we bring it to the end. That's giving you the backstory on the truck and what we're going to go forward with from here. It's going to be a cool truck. It's going to be a fun truck. Small block Chevy, turbo 350, cool looking shiny wheels on it. Got a nice paint job. Good cruiser quality truck. That's all we were going for with it. We're going to do a really nice interior in it. I think me and Dad are actually thinking about doing our own interior on that. We got our own ideas of what's going on back there. We got some metal work and ideas for down on the running boards. Got a special bumper in mind for the front. We got a handful of things we want to finish up. Got a little bit of wiring stuff to dial in. Getting the engine and transmission running right in this truck, and really road ruddy friendly truck. It's got Borla exhaust. It sounds really good. Full stainless. It's a really nice sounding truck, and it's going to sound really good whenever we actually put it on the road and put some miles on it. So this truck is going to be a cruiser, and we got to get it finalized so we can actually get it on the road and start doing what the truck was built for. Thank you guys for watching. Hey, do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. And also, I have not mentioned before, I'm on Instagram. I've got the same Counsil Customs page on there. That's my Instagram handle. Y'all come on over, check it out. Scroll back, see some of the old stuff we put together. I was building stuff long before we came up with YouTube. This is new. So y'all go back, check out some of the old stuff we've done, and keep up as we go forward. We get there into this truck. We got a little bit going on the station wagon. We did end up pushing it aside for a little while because we've got a couple of things that we need to finalize on it, and I gotta wait for some parts to come in and stuff and do a couple of things never done before. So waiting on that stuff to come in so I can try my hand at doing something for the first time, or push that car aside, get started on another vehicle, keep y'all interested. If not, y'all would get bored with seeing me play with the same tools and parts month after month after month. So we're gonna dig into this one, but y'all don't want to miss out because we got a lot coming, a lot of cool stuff coming, a lot of fun things to do, and not to mention we got a handful of events that we're planning on going to this year. But that's all besides the point. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for sticking around. Like, share, subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram. Y'all have a good one.